Welcome to my preview of the roof-claimed Boca Raton Bowl featuring 8-5 Western Kentucky versus 10-3 Appalachian State. Game's going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN, up on the big network. So App State favoring this one by 3 points, given a 60% chance of winning. Appalachian State definitely looking like the better team on paper in this one, but Western Kentucky is having a Cinderella season this year. After starting off the season, didn't even look like they were going to get bowl eligible, and they have won 7 of their last 9 games to roar back to an 8-5 overall record, went to the Conference USA championship game, almost knocked off UTSA. I mean, came that close to knocking off UTSA. This is a very good Appalachian State facing a West Kentucky team that is surprised a lot of people, has an amazing quarterback. We'll talk about that later. So ESPN giving App State a 60% chance of winning. I think that's high. I think what Vegas is saying with a 3-point spread is a lot closer to what it's actually going to end up being here in a very close game. Series history between these two. They have met before. Actually, they've played 5 times previously. Appalachian State owning that series 4-1, but they haven't met in a while. Last game was in 2000. Appalachian State carrying that game. But the first time these two teams ever met was in 1972. Appalachian State won the first game of the series, a 6-7 winning, and then Western Kentucky got their vengeance this following year with a 42-7 drubbing in 1973. But like I said, neither team has faced each other since 2000. So a chance to set the record book straight again with it being over 20 years since these two teams have played. It's going to be interesting to see what these modern teams do against each other in this very exciting matchup. All right. Record review overall, well, Athlon Sports and I were actually predicting the same record for these teams coming in. We're both saying 6-6, and Western Kentucky doing much better than that 6-6 record which we were predicting, because they ended up going 7-9. They won 7 out of their last 9 games down the stretch. Complete reversal of the year for this program. App State, on the other hand, also doing better than either Athlon or I were predicting. Both of us were saying 8-4, so we agreed. Athlon and I don't usually agree. We ended up agreeing. Athlon Sports saying 8-4. I also said 8-4. And App State ended up going 10-3, 10-2 prior to losing against Louisiana in the Sun Belt Championship game there. But couple games more. I thought App State would be good. They've always been kind of a top-tier team, but Sun Belt's gotten better and better every single year, and it's not as easy to win in that conference as it used to be. And props on App State getting that win against Coastal Carolina and being able to come into this game with a lot of quality wins under their belt to get to that 10-3 record. Would have been better if they won against Louisiana, of course. But this is a Western Kentucky team that App State should not be feeling down that they're facing this program. This is going to be a very good bowl game between two very pass-heavy offenses. It's going to be incredibly exciting to watch. All right, so worst loss, just kind of looking over the records here. Worst loss for Western Kentucky, and it wasn't necessarily that this team they lost to was bad. It's that they lost to them twice. UTSA, 2 losses. They lost to UTSA twice. That's the 2 losses in that 7 out of 9 game run. The 2 losses were both to UTSA, but very close both times. So UTSA, a good team this year. Western Kentucky just behind them when it came to the overall point spread. So when you judge how good UTSA is, you have to also judge Western Kentucky on that same level. Looking at App State, they are also a team that lost twice. It's very rare that you see teams end up matching up twice in the same season. It's also far rarer to see 2 teams play each other that have 2 losses to the same team in both of their sides there. So UTSA, a team that beat Western Kentucky twice, and Louisiana, a team that beat Appalachian State twice. So both of these programs coming into this game having 2 losses to the same programs on their belt there, which is very rare to see. So Louisiana, a good team, of course, not a bad loss there, but it's always embarrassing when you lose to the same team twice. But fortunately, like I said, both these teams, something in common that they can help share each other, help comfort each other over that embarrassment as they come in and face each other in this very exciting matchup. All right, best win for these programs. Western Kentucky has had a very exciting season, a very exciting year with the way that they've come back, but they don't have a ton of really quality wins, but it is impressive the way that they have been able to resurrect their season. That being said, I'd say Marshall would probably be the best win for Western Kentucky here, a 53-21 win, a big win against a 7-5 Marshall team. Marshall team having a little bit of a down year, but still always a team that's going to be competitive in their conference, and so very good win by a large point spread there. Largest, I believe, one of the larger losses Marshall had on this season, so good win there by Western Kentucky. Appalachian State, their best win easily against, at the time, number 14 Coastal Carolina, team that ended up 10-2, 30-27, gave Coastal Carolina the first loss knocked off their New Year's Six dream hopes, whatever they might have been. Chance maybe to go in and get an at-large spot there at the end of the season. Unfortunately, dashed those dreams. As a Liberty fan, Boise State fan, obviously Bronco blamer, but my second team is Liberty, and I'm a big Flames fan. So as a Flames fan, we hate Coastal Carolina. That is our main rival, and so if you Appalachian State fans, we were rooting you on so hard on the Liberty Flames Nation Facebook page. Got over like 5,000 members now. We had a game thread going as the matchup was going on, going, wow, did you see that score? All right, I think they're going to get this. I think they can hold on, and then App State ended up getting the win. And I tell you, that after App State beat Coastal Carolina, I saw more reactions on that page than any of Liberty's wins this season. So people went crazy on that page. It felt like a Liberty win with App State knocking off our hated, bitter rival there. So great job on you there, and a great game overall. That's definitely App State's best win of the season. So a very dangerous App State team coming in to face Western Kentucky. Probably the best team, one of the best teams that they have played all year for sure. Could be the best team that they have faced all season. So who's the top players for these teams? Well, for Western Kentucky, and I've mentioned him slightly already, it's going to be Zappe, their quarterback. He is thrown, now get this, and this is not a career number, this is a single season number, all right? You ready for it? He is thrown for 5,545 yards, the most of any quarterback this season, for 56 touchdowns. 56 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. So, but only 11 interceptions considering that he has 56 touchdowns. I mean, that is insane. He has a good chance here. I mean, because he had 500 yards in the conference championship game against UTSA. He has a solid chance to get to 6,000 yards passing on the season. I mean, there's quarterbacks that go 2 or 3 years in college football at starting level and barely crack. I mean, that's 6,000. I mean, you have lots of quarterbacks that play 3 seasons and maybe get, 2,000 yards or so a year and barely end up or even go under 6,000 on 3 years worth of starting experience. And this guy in one season has cracked the 6,000 yard mark. Just an amazing stat there. I literally can't believe it. And when you watch him play, it is really exciting. I mean, he throws the deep ball beautifully. So he's a great quarterback. It kind of makes the App State quarterback, who has had an amazing year, it hit the impressiveness of Zappe's stats kind of take away a little bit from Bryce's stats, but it shouldn't. The top player for Appalachian State, he's had a great year himself. 3,020 yards passing, 23 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and that 3,000 number, a lot of quarterbacks across the nation would love to have over 3,000 yards passing. So that is nothing to sneeze at. It's just that Zappe here is just so impressive with his 5,545 yards passing that everyone in the room goes silent when he comes in with that many yards. But Bryce here, also an incredibly capable quarterback. It should be a very, very exciting matchup between two teams that lean heavily into the passing game here. So, keys to the game. For what do each of these teams need to do to win these matchups? Well, for Western Kentucky, my key to them is play like you have nothing to lose. This is your Cinderella season. You shouldn't be in this spot. The way that you started, I believe it was 1-4 or 1-3. The way that they started the season, they should not be in a bowl game, and they are. Not only are they in a bowl game, but they came this close to winning their conference. And here you are in a bowl game against the best team that you've played all season. I mean, you look at Western Kentucky's schedule here. They played Army, they're a good team, Indiana, Michigan State. Okay, Michigan State is the best team that they've played, obviously. But other than that, I mean, one of the top 2 teams that you've played all season in the matchup against a very, very good App State team here. Take it all in. This is a game that nobody expects you to win here. 60% chance of defeat here going up against ESPN's odds. You're probably outmatched defensively against Appalachian State. Just let it all fly, literally. And of course, Zappe being a quarterback who lets it all fly every single game, that should not be hard advice here. But you have nothing to lose. Play every down. Go at it 100%. Open up every page of the playbook here. Nothing to hide. End of the season. There is something awesome about being able to play like you have nothing to lose, because you can't make mistakes. If you make a mistake, if you end up losing the game, who cares? You are given complete freedom to go out on a limb, to get risky with it. And if you end up getting that win, the reward is going to be huge. If you end up taking a loss, people expected you to lose anyway, and you're outmatched. And there's plenty of excuses out there for why you would lose this game. So just go out there and play like it. Not like it doesn't matter, but play like you have nothing to lose, because any result in this game is going to be a huge win for a program that wasn't even looking like they would make a bowl game in the first place. For Appalachian State, the big one here is take away the deep ball. Zappe, he's a great quarterback. He gets a lot of yards in the deep game, but when it comes to the short passing yards, and we saw this in the UTSA championship game, when it comes to having to make decisions against the defense in the short passing game, that's when he starts to make mistakes. So a lot of his passing yards have come on the deep ball. If you can take that away, force him to start to reduce the field that he has to work with, and focus on those quicker, crisper, shorter passing yards, he's going to struggle more at those versus being able to just loft it up deep, because he has an arm. But if Appalachian State can take away that deep ball, they're going to see a very different product on the field than versus what Zappe's been able to produce the rest of the season. So take away the deep ball. That's going to be the big one, which might be hard against a Western Kentucky team, which should be playing like they have nothing to lose, throwing it deep as many times as they can, and really trying to get after it and get that win, which is a win that is elusive here against a good team in Appalachian State, a win that nobody expects them to win. It's hard to take away the deep ball when you have a team that's willing to air it out, not err on the side of caution, and try and put your defense to the test. But if Appalachian State can survive that test, if they can stand up strong against a team that wants to take them down through the deep ball, if they can take that option away, they're going to have a good chance of coming out and winning this one. So what is my prediction in this one? I'm going to say that Western Kentucky almost gets the upset. I mean, I'm going to call it just like the UTSA games. They're going to come this close to getting the upset. Maybe get out to a lead early in this one. Look like they're going to get the win, but fall just short. However, I do think that Zappe will break the Boca Raton Bowl record, which right now sits at 441 passing yards. I think he'll bust that, and I think he'll pass over 6,000 yards passing on his career, just for an amazing stat to end one of the most incredible, statistically, quarterback performances that we've ever seen come out of college football. So I'm excited for this game. I can't wait to watch it. I loved watching him in the Conference USA Championship game, and I think this is going to be a very, very close game. But App State, I think the better team that's going to be able to stand strong, hold their depth, maybe get beat a few the deep ball early, but come in enough in the back end to force some interceptions and get this win. So thank you for watching this video. I'm doing all the bowl games. I'm previewing every single bowl game matchup, so make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any. And good luck to both these programs in a very, very exciting, hopefully pass-heavy offensive game, which is always the best ones to watch. All right, thank you for watching this video, and as always, go Big Blue.